So I hope we can actively participate in shaping the way we want to conduct classes in future, and also engage our new DAO teams in this meaningful journey. That's all I want to say. So I guess we can just proceed with the meetings and then see where we go today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dianshi. Dianshi, should we begin with high time? Like everyone turn on their camera to say hi, and then if they participate in this meeting for the first time, they have to introduce themselves for longer, about 30 seconds. Does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I have a list here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so first we have Yang Meilan. Meilan, are you there? Okay, so not yet. Okay. What about Chandra? Chandra, are you there? No. Okay. Zhu Yuede. Okay. Randy? Randy.
Hi, thank you, Lai Zhangshi. Good morning, Dian Chuanshi. Good morning, all seniors. And thank you very much for this opportunity and having the privilege to join this team. Yes, I know I have about 30 seconds. And then the last question was something interesting about myself. I'm not too sure whether I'm an interesting person, but I find that I like to um, play a lot with PowerPoints, especially on the creativity part. Yeah, so I find that that's something interesting that I know about myself. But why do I do that? It's more for visual, not so much in terms of the work when I play with the PowerPoint. Yep, that's about me. Nice to meet all of you.
Okay, thank you, Randy. Okay, Eric.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Master. Hello, the seniors. Thank you for having me here. My name is Eric. I live in Georgia in the U.S. I've been practicing now for about 5 years now, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Is that your calligraphy?
No, that is
that Dong Dian Chances?
yeah. Well, that one is. This one is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it last year.
Yes. Yeah. It's very, very precious to us. Very precious to me.
Our souvenir.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. Next we have Felix. Felix. Felix
Hello,
Laoui.
hello
Okay.
everyone. Yeah, my name is Felix. I'm actually based in Melbourne in Australia. Today I just happened to be in Sydney, just joining a Tai Chi workshop. So that's why I'm in not in a temple outfit. Apologies.
Oh, no need to apologize. Okay, that's good. You look nice. You mean Tai Chi? You're
Yeah, it's a Tai Chi
practicing Tai Chi
workshop.
now?
Yeah,
Wow,
Tai Chi
okay.
workshop. It's very interesting. A lot of connection I can see.
Okay, so you're training other people?
No. I'm a complete newbie.
Okay.
Complete newbie.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have okay, Jackie. Jackie from Vancouver.
Hello, Master. Hello, everybody. My name is Jackie. I'm based here in Vancouver. Is there anything else I need to say? Or
Last time did you introduce yourself?
I did, yes.
You
I
did,
told
okay.
people I've got more caffeine in my blood than I do water.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So now you can sit down.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, Michael.
Okay,
Next.
thank you.
Michael.
Oh, I'm Michael from Los Angeles, California. I think I don't have anything unique to share.
Okay. All right. Your smile
Pleasure
is
to
pretty
be here.
unique. All right. Thank you. Next, we have Monique.
Hello, everyone. I'm from Houston, Texas, and born and raised in Taiwan. Came here and learning about this stuff ever since I was young. So very happy to be here. And then thank you, Master and Senior, giving me this opportunity. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you, Monique. Next we have Randy. Oh, Randy has spoken. Okay. How about Tracy? Tracy Wayne?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tracy. I'm from Vancouver, and I was born in Taiwan and grew up there until grade 6. And my family moved to Thailand for 7 years, and after that, went to university in U.S. and now I'm in Vancouver. And I joined Temple after I graduated from university, and I started learning from when I started learning at Temple when I came when my family moved to Vancouver. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Welcome back to Vancouver. Is it snowing there?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
It's
It's
raining.
already end of November, right? Okay, next we have Jamie. Jamie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie. I believe I introduced myself last time.
Okay, that's all. Okay, thank you. All right, so if you want to know more about anyone here, you can always reach out. Okay. All right, next we have Mia. Mia.
Morning, everyone. I'm Mia, and I introduced myself last time, and I'm so happy to meet new friends and old friends. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Can
Yeah.
you speak a few words in French for us to make it international?
Bonjour, no? Oh, no, that's Italian. Bonjour, René.
Oh my God, you have Italian. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. So did I miss anyone? I think, okay. Chandra. Hello. Sediawan.
Hello, hey everyone. So I'm from Seattle. My name is Chandra. Well, I'm originally from Indonesia. So I moved here like 25 years ago. So I attended college in US, and now I'm currently working in the AI company. But yeah, so I'm from Seattle. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you all. Yep.
Thank you, Chandra. Okay, I noticed AI company. You still live in the same house, right? Okay, so did I miss anyone? I think that's all today. Okay. Oh, Michael. Oh, Michael James. Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand. Yeah, I introduced myself last time as well, but good to be here again and meet everyone.
Okay, thank you, Michael. All right, so I think we have everyone ready. Okay, so can we make it a rule if you speak up during the meeting, please turn on your camera. Otherwise, you can turn it off or turn it on. Yeah. All right. Okay. So next on the agenda. Okay. Now, okay. Thank you. I think about 10 people responded to our questionnaire, our survey, and I also sent you the summary of the survey. I think that we want to do this so we can gather your ideas and input, and because we only meet once every month, and I think it's not enough to like do what we need to do, right? Okay, so for the survey, let's go over it. Okay. So the first question. So as I go along with the survey, I would ask you to supplement what you say as if needed, or I would ask anyone to come up with your input and additional information. Okay. So first question is about experience with the structured program. I mean, in Chinese, usually the Chinese class would have like translation if they are English speakers, right? And so most of you responded that you have the experience, but some of you haven't, okay? And the next one, okay, which classes we have, we'll skip. And language, some do it with translation, okay? With varying lengths, okay? What benefit? More understanding of the subject matter. Monic, improving my understanding of Tao, okay. Okay, for this one, can Monic supplement what you have said? Improving my understanding of the Tao?
What I'm trying to say is that learning about Tao is an ongoing process, and then you know how you learned it when you just received the Tao till like where I am right now, and we learn every day. So going through the these standard classes, so you are more systemically learns about the each meanings of the Tao. So that's what I mean. You know, it's really improving, and then I can understand when, especially when you are the when you are just sitting in the class listening, there's a lot of terminologies and there's a lot of history and the culture. So sometimes if you hear it the first time, you may not get it the first time. So you have to listen more and more, then you can really grasp the not just the meaning of the Taos, but you can actually incorporate it in your life and then share with others. That's what I mean. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Monic. Felix, you say in the beginning you didn't feel the benefit. Can you elaborate on that? Thank you.
I guess to me, because maybe my background, I grew up, so I received Tao when I was very young. So I guess I grew up in a temple community, and I guess in the beginning, I just view most of those classes, including the Minter Simin Pan, even 3-day class. I remembered I didn't feel anything special in some sense. I know that everyone seems to be very kind. Seniors are very good, very kind, until when I joined the Xiande and Hong Ban for the Jiangyan, that's when you need to participate in the practicing of the lecture. I feel that's much more relevance because you are actually participating more. And then what I mentioned is also like, I guess I also feel slightly more connection when I attended the scripture class, when a lot of the questions that I had in the past were with regards to if you do good things, do you actually have merit? And then like, for example, in the Platform Sutra or in Lunyi, a lot of them has question and answer. I feel like that's basically all. It feels like, actually the question that I ask, actually people have asked that centuries ago as well. So I find that relevance. That's why I meant like, I guess maybe to rephrase it, I actually maybe have some feeling, but it feels a bit much more when in those, I guess, Xuande, Hongde, I guess more advanced, but somehow because there's more participation or a lot of that question and answer type. That basically somehow answers some of my doubts. So that's what I meant.
Okay, thank you, Felix. We noticed you mentioned scriptures. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe that can be a module, right?
Hey?
Maybe that can be a module. Yeah, like in our proposal, there are modules, different modules, right?
Modules, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe because I think some of the scriptures is some of our 经典 is more like a question and answer type.
Mhm.
Like in Yunyi is like question and answer, because usually I guess we tend to have we all have questions. Like
Mhm.
Taipei Sutra is also question and answer type.
Mhm.
Because for example, one of the question, does Liang Wudi, the king Liang of Wu, after building so many temples, does he have a merit? And then Bodhidharma says no, or why? So we all have that same question. Then I feel like that's that's that. It feels like same like in that, especially Western country, we would be like, that seems contradictory. Why? So maybe that type of scripture that has that Q&A type. Yeah, that's how I felt. Or like, for example, in Xiao Jing, I remember, I think the first chapter where Confucius was, like, I think Zhengzi, he was beaten to his father because he felt like he needs to be filial, so his dad beat him until he almost died, but Confucius actually was angry at him, saying that he's stupid, something like that. And then we, because we thought that, oh, we have to be filial all the time, we have to be obedient, but in this case, Confucius actually said no. Something like that. I thought that could be very interesting.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Michael James. Okay. I noticed that you mentioned that, okay, you probably endure a long time in listening to the classes through translation, and somehow you're so patient to me. Okay, so can you share with us more about the process and what you think?
You'd like me to share about listening to translation?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. So it's really hard to translate everything. And sort of one thing that is, sometimes a speaker will say something humorous and it just can't translate the humor. And so you're either not laughing or you're laughing 1 minute after everyone else is laughing in the class, and they'll look at you, what are you laughing at? Because the topic's moved on. Or, you know, sometimes the speakers have some strong emotions, sort of very joyous or very sad, and it's quite hard for the translator to convey some of those extra things in the speaking, so you don't quite get the meaning. Or sometimes stories are quite long and it's hard to translate because you've got to listen to a long length and then you start talking about it, but then the topic shifts and sometimes the translator has to decide, should I start the next topic or finish the first topic? And there's a gap, something ends up getting missed out. So just those sorts of things. And so when I've had the opportunity to listen to straight in English, I think, wow, it's just so much. I can listen to everything and understand every single word. Just there's quite a miles better from my perspective as only an English speaker. Does that sort of answer the question?
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. And Eric, would you like to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on what Michael said just now. For both of us being English speakers, I kind of share the same experience. That we do suffer through it, but we still enjoy and still appreciate what we're hearing. And that's why I like this proposal a lot, because it is very dependent on your translator that you have at the current moment and wherever you're going. If you're going to get a very thorough translation of something or not. And like you said, there's a lot of Chinese idioms and sayings and phrases that totally go over our heads that might instill more profound meaning in people that understand it. And so I think I'm just reinforcing what he said, that I agree, and like the benefit of it being in English, specifically. Like I've had the pleasure of listening to fully English lectures, and I feel like I've come away with so much more. Not because it's anybody's fault, just because I understand their point, I guess, better and fully. So I just wanted to add on to what he said, that I agree, and that was all.
Okay, thank you, Eric. And I believe that you have a very good translator with you. So does it help?
I have the best translator. Yes. So I'm very fortunate that I have the best translator.
Right. You're so lucky. All right. Thank you. All right. So anyone would like to add to this question? Please raise your hand. If not, let's go on to the next one, challenges. Most people cite the challenges with translation and language. Yeah. How to retain knowledge received. Okay. All right. So Monica, can you explain on this one?
I'm sorry, I would just randomly answer the survey. So when it saw these questions, because each class, I mean, the way they plan for this class, they organize this class is really well, but it has a lot of good information and knowledge. But you know, some of them you're good, you write it down, but if you don't go back to review it, you don't remember. So it's very hard to retain it. So
So,
I sometimes you heard about the good lectures topics,
mhm.
and then maybe later you need to be the one to present it to others. And then it would be good like if we have those digital library or something, you can go back and review it, because that's how we practice, and then reviewing it. That's how we can return the knowledge. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Digital library. Yes, we remember that. Okay. So would you like to be speakers when we have the program running
Not yet.
so that you can
Learn.
retain more?
I think we all will be. So
Okay. All right. That's good.
hopefully I'm not a guinea pig. So
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
All right. So do you understand the main points of the proposal? Okay. So I'm trying to make sure that everyone know that what proposal we are talking about. So we put a picture in the survey, right? So I'm sure that you have all read the proposal, but somehow, let's see, we have 5, 4, 3, some are not sure. Elaine, okay. Saying it's not here. Okay, what about Jackie? Jackie, have you got a chance to read the proposal?
杨思好，各位学生好。So
Yes.
I looked at the proposed structure program. I'm a little confused. Like I get the modules, but like the monthly class thing, like does that determine length, or like I'm not too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay, all right. So for this one, can Dian Chuan Shi explain more about this monthly class on top of the proposal? I think this is the one that most people missed.
Oh, hi. Good morning, everyone. Okay, the monthly class is to complement what we have in the proposal. The proposal is for structured programs. But because we have Dawkins, some of them are the newer Dawkins, we need to constantly engage everyone. So what we are doing here in Singapore is we do have the monthly class, and we structured the monthly class in some manner as well. I think in the following slides. We organize the monthly class in some manner and then make it more interactive. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dian Shi. So, okay, do you see the proposed structured program on your screen?
Take a look here.
Okay. So on the top, this monthly class, that's a class that's a long running, like topic sharing. And so we can have a variety of like topics to cater to the needs of like newcomers or new Dawkins. So it's more flexible with the topics here. And then we have fundamental class as the required course. 12 topics, 6 months. And then we have modules, module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these we can decide, again, very flexible. I think, okay, so let's see. If someone is still interested in the DAO topics, they have a module, right? And if someone is interested in course management or presentation, they have a module. If someone is interested in food preparation, nutrition, there's one module. If someone is interested in IT, okay, we have some IT people here. Someone is interested in care and support. Okay, so it's very practical here. And even like scriptures. I think if we have the competent speakers, we can also have the scripture module, something like that. So this proposed structured program here is not set in stone. This is something we have to elaborate on. We have to design the plan to implement it. Okay. So any question about the proposal here? Okay.
Maybe, hello, Chai Jiang. So maybe just one question for me is, so is the monthly class happening in parallel of the module? I guess that's my only question.
Yes, from my understanding, yes.
So the monthly class is like a required class that everyone should follow, or
no.
flexible as well?
I think it's optional it's like you can join it or not, it's free for everyone.
Okay.
For newcomers. So the
only thing that's required is just the fundamental. The rest from the monthly and the module, they're all optional. I mean, flexible.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, anyone can attend the monthly class. Okay. Even if they don't enroll in the new program. It's like you don't even have to participate in the fundamental class. I think fundamental class and module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are for those people who are more serious in attending the tempo classes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the answer is this correct?
Yes. I think there's a slide on the way we organize money class in Singapore. I think if you go down, I think there are some slides on the way we organize the money class in Singapore. Chai Jiang, do you want to scroll down?
Okay, sure.
Just give you some idea. Yes, I think further down.
Further down, okay.
Further down.
This?
No, further down. Oh, these are some of the topics we covered previously in the money class. Further down. Further down. Yeah, further down, please.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So in 2025 in Singapore, we organized the money class in this format. There are some main themes that we discuss, and then within each main theme, there are several topics. We cover on diet and cultivation, and then thinking and cultivation. Okay, thinking and cultivation is the second part of the syllabus, and then we cover under thinking and cultivation. We cover topics like do not believe everything you think, elements of thoughts progressing to thoughtlessness, and then after that we cover several topics on relationships and cultivation. Yeah, so there are a lot of flexibility in organizing this monthly class, and eventually we can even have the domain owners of each module to contribute topics, and Yeah. So the one of the objective for this monthly class is to not to confine ourselves to the topics that we usually present in the Chinese community. So in fact, some of the topics can be quite interesting and engaging. Like we cover topics like the Tao of Pu, things like that. So there are a lot of flexibility, and then we can, through some of these other topics, we can better relate how this is relevant to our cultivation. I think we have some questions. Yeah, maybe we'll take the questions.
Okay, okay. All right, so this can be an example for the monthly class, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, Sandra.
Yeah, sorry, maybe I completely missed the previous meeting, but trying to understand a little bit about the fundamentals. So the fundamentals, is that mainly for the classic, like the Mingde, Xinming, Zisamban, that type of classes, basically just like the English version of those classes?
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
the quick answer is no. Okay, the intent is not to translate the topics from the Mandarin classes. For the fundamental, we have not decided on the topics to share, but we try to make it to cover something that will be more relevant to every one of us who wants to walk on the path of spiritual cultivation. So it will not be just translating the Mandarin topics that we have.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. I think for the explanation, and that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I was just worried that, are we actually try to follow the Mandarin or the classic Chinese sort of like structure, and then apply it to the English one, because what we have learned so far is that might not be the best. But thank you for, I think, explaining that. Yeah. So because also what we learned here is that, I think the basics, we all are trying to learn Dao, but not so much trying to learn Chinese culture, right? So because I think in the more classic classes, it's like, we have been saying a lot of story about Chinese culture or Chinese literature, and that might not resonate the best for Western, for Western audience.
Right, thank you. Okay, so in a way that we are like a kite in the sky, right? But we are still anchored, right? So I think the Mingde Xinmin, those topics, we can still use them as reference. There's a question about this in the survey, okay? But we are not limited to those topics. Yeah. All right, so any other questions about the proposal? If not, let's continue. All right. Okay, so what do you like about the proposal? The breaking up into modules. DAO members can choose what they need or like. Okay, let me switch. Sorry. The vision and structure, but not sure. All right, okay, sorry. But not sure if the curriculum is set to stone yet. No, it's not. Okay. Modernization. Yeah, so it's not only for the English-speaking people, but we are the first to be there. We'll be the pioneer, I think. And Steve, are you online?
Yes, sorry, I got busy earlier, so
All right, no worries.
sorry I'm
Okay.
late. Yeah,
So
I was able to
okay,
respond.
you missed the self-introduction, so can you introduce yourself in less than 30 seconds and then elaborate on your point. Thank you.
Oh, I thought I did my introduction last time.
Yeah, but we have newcomers today.
Okay. Hello, Lin Dianshi and Cai Jiangshi and everyone. So I'm currently living in London, Ontario, Canada. And so I've been in the DAO community for more than 15 years. And it's my pleasure to be part of the English team. And I set up my own temple in 2014. And yes, I'm very interested in learning about different cultures so then I can invite different members from different groups to the DAO community. And the challenge I'm finding is that the connection between the traditional DAO community and non-traditional DAO members. And this is what I'm hoping to make a connection between the traditional DAO community and non-Chinese members in the DAO community. So that's my brief introduction of myself. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you are a temple host and a speaker.
Yes.
And you are facing a good mix of people from different backgrounds.
Yes, like the native-born English-speaking members and international. Also, I have met people from different countries in the world. They are living in Canada.
Right, and you have to teach the native speakers.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's correct.
You're so lucky. Okay, all right. All right, okay, so would you like to share more about your likes for the proposal?
Yeah, so I took a look at the proposal because not all the DAO members I have encountered are very interested in the more traditional and concept or theory-based courses. So I think having different areas in this proposal will definitely attract their attention. I think this is a good starting point for them to take part in the DAO community. And over time, they may become interested in more traditional DAO-related topics. So I think having a variety of topics in this proposal, will be benefits our frontline DAO members who can reach out to different audiences. So I think, yeah, this is the part I like.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
All right, next question, dislikes. Okay, this one will be interesting. Okay, how would you modify the proposal? Let me see. Okay, this first point was raised by Jasmine, but she is absent today. Most Americans I've met are mostly interested in the spiritual growth. I don't feel the structure will interest most of the Americans I've met that are interested in DAO. Yeah, this is something that we can think about. It's also related to the definition of spirituality. It may not be the way you think it is. But this is a crucial question, I think. So Americans. So we have Americans here. Okay. How about Eric? Can you share your thoughts about this comment?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me read it again. I'll say that yes, as Americans, I'm not to speak for all Americans, but there is a portion of us that are very much like invested in traditional religion and like Western religion and very much into that. I'll say that with younger generations, it's probably more the spirituality aspect, like she's saying. So I understand that it's more not worshiping or praying in that sense is what younger Americans are interested in. I think that's what she's getting at. They're interested in more of your own personal spiritual journey, possibly, and not just subscribing to one specific style or type of thing. And that might be her experience interacting with other Americans, that they have not been interested in Tao because of it, that it's tied to Chinese culture, and it's not just an overall spiritual journey, as they would say. But I think that they're two different things. I don't think they're the same thing in that regard. I like the Tao, and I like coming here because it is, for me, a spiritual journey, and I like the spiritual growth from it, but I also appreciate the history and the culture of it as well. So I think I understand it from two perspectives. At least that's what I think she's saying.
All right, thank you, Eric.
Yes.
Okay, Dancer, can you help us with this one? What's
Yeah.
spirituality and what's our past? Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'm not sure what exactly Jasmine meant. Okay, there are two perspectives to this, pertaining to spiritual growth. Okay, there will be a group of people who are more interested to dwell themselves into the spiritual realms of things. They try to go into meditations and they enter into a portal, and then going into the spiritual realm and then feeling the energies and then the vibrations of the earth, the magnetic fields and things like that. If this is what we are pursuing, then this is not what the community can give, what the community can give. And I think you see, from the time of our great teachers to Lao Qianren to all our seniors, all right, we didn't pursue that way of spiritual cultivation. What we are trying to do is the spiritual growth that is more relevant to our daily lives, the way we act, the way we think in our daily lives. It's less of that spiritual, getting into the spiritual realms of things. And but I think some of the things like Tai Chi, I also do Tai Chi. Some of the things like Tai Chi actually helps a lot, but we did not get into that spiritual realms of thing because it's going to be very attractive, and then you easily lost yourself because we find that we are different from the rest because we are able to enter a spiritual portal, and we wanted to identify ourselves as someone who is very different from the rest, and we are unique, and this is not where we are going to. So spiritual growth can come in a lot of forms. It could be through learning from others. I think in the past, there's always this mindset about we have to teach others on this spiritual learning part. But I think the more we learn, the more we understand that, in fact, there are more things that we can learn from others than what we can teach others. So it's a journey that we want to walk together with others and then to learn. In fact, the one that benefits more it should be ourselves, and then to learn from others as well. So it need not be through classes. It could be through sacrifices or things that we do selflessly. And that's why we have created different modules, because in fact, through all these different modules, it can help in our spiritual growth. All right, not only through classes, theories. So money classes also tries to answer. Also tries to help the community with wider demographics. Okay, to work on this power of spiritual growth. So I'm not sure exactly what Jasmine meant by most Americans are not interested in this structure, and I would like to hear from her when she's available. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Tiansi. Chandra.
Yeah, thank you, Tiansi and Jiangsi. So I think I maybe will like to share my perspective a little bit about this. So at least in the northern western hemisphere, in Seattle area here, like we've been sort of like like conducting the summer camp in here, and one of the topic that we've been sharing is looking inward. So I think in my mind, like there are many forms of spiritual growth, like the Tiansi said, and one of the thing that we were looking at, like not specifically has to be meditating or things like that, but I think spiritual growth can we can actually apply some of the teachings into our daily life, like for example looking inward, because we've been sort of like, I think one of the topic in the class is how can we start paying attention to ourselves, meaning to our own emotions, to our own thought process, how our body reacts and other things. So just paying attention to ourselves more than because I think most of us we have a tendency to to kind of follow our five senses, kind of pull us sort of like to the outside world. Like we just like pay attention something to what's happening outside, pay attention to a lot of things that people say or smell or hear or see, right? But I think if we sort of like have a spiritual growth that we can actually apply to our daily life through learning maybe from a sutra or even from of teachings, I think to me that's also one of the sort of like cultivations. It doesn't have to be sort of like meditating, but there is sort of like a big difference between that and sort of like something that's more typical learning that you can get from the temple, which is like you probably hear a lot of stories, like some other people's stories talking about, hey, they found some miracles about blah blah blah, right? Or now you're also learning about, oh yeah, there's heaven and hell or things like that. But that is good to understand, but that is not very applicable to people and how they can actually have a personal growth. It doesn't have to be spiritual growth. It's like personal growth, right? Like for example, maybe some cases like you maybe struggle because of one or two problem in your life. Now you're starting to kind of pay attention to what happens within you, and starting to maybe repent, maybe starting to kind of like kind of like change your mindset, 转念, right? So some of those stuff you can actually apply to your daily life, where you can actually have that growth. Doesn't have to be necessarily like have to be like a meditation or anything like that. But there's like, I think there's a lot of those topics that we haven't really covered too much in the temple, to be honest. Or sometimes we cover those topics, but it's too deep in a way that we are actually trying to kind of explain it in a more from the Chinese literature, from maybe 大学, 中庸, 易经, those kind of things, but not something very easy to digest, right? I think what we lack of, I feel like, how can we explain something deep, but it's very applicable and very daily life type of message that we can share to people? I think that's very useful. But in so many times right now, we kind of spend too much time on either the culture or like, something like very far away, very abstract things, or maybe just something about, about some text in some books, right? So those are, I think, like, what I think personally that maybe we should try to avoid when we talk to the Western audience, like, what can we sort of like give them a little bit more direct impact, like there is a direct benefit to their life than just talking about something like very far away, just about, how can we have a better to kind of resonate better to people, because here is like people like they want to see some practical stuff that they can get the benefit from, so.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If I may share, thank you very much to Felix for what he has shared. Yeah. In fact, we feel the same thing. We feel the same way that in the past the emphasis has been on miracles. Some assurance that if you walk the path the same way as I walk, you will reach a certain. You'll be Buddha. You will be things like that. So, in fact, in Singapore, the focus is actually on spiritual learning. That's why we share more widely. I mean, topics like "Do not believe everything you think." Is actually extracts from a book, and the focus is actually to help us to jump out of that mindset of overthinking, and then that actually causes us a lot of a lot of emotions and sufferings. So really, the intent is to widen the scope, what we can learn, way beyond what we have been taught in the community. And that requires all of us to read more widely, books on philosophies, so that we are able to provide a different perspective. And I think it's more relevant to today's Tao Tian. If we continue to talk about what is life after death, how it is going to benefit our ancestors, our descendants, and things like that, I think not many people will be interested. So it's important that we have to make it relevant, and that's why I think the scope that we propose in the structure program should be adaptive. We should be able to adapt. It should not be cast in stone in any way. It's not like the Chinese community, you use Ming De Ban, the topic stays there for 30 years. It should not be the case for these structure programs. So we should continue to revamp and make it relevant to today's society as we go. So, for example, some of the modules like AI modules, in fact, they are very relevant. Okay, we are using that platform to see how we can simplify the concepts of abstract topics into something that is bite-sized so that more people can benefit from it, things like that. So yeah, so I think I really agree with what Felix has shared. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dianshi. Yeah, I think this is an ongoing dialogue. And so thanks to Jasmine for raising up this very crucial point. Okay. Next. Final exam. Okay, Mike. Can you share more about this?
Oh, so this is just I don't know, a thought. Maybe just it wouldn't be like an official, grading system, but it could also help us gauge our efficacy in conveying the content. But also, I don't know, maybe some people want to know how much they've learned by the end of a certain section, how much growth they've achieved. So it was just a thought to throw in there.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, regarding the final exam part, I think it's more relevant to those who pursue modules in trying to share topics in the community. But if we're going to do the final exam, my suggestion it would be to do it very differently. Instead of asking individual to memorize a topic and then present, it's more of like a Q&A to test the understanding of individual. And also, I think that is more important rather than try to train someone who can memorize the topic and then try to select someone who has got better presentation skills. So I think the focus will be different. So it's about how the individual can better nurture others, all right, rather than focusing on the presentation skills. All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Tianzi. Yeah, I think we have a lot to discuss about how to improve the learning experience, right? And I think the exam is more than that, but we can discuss later. Okay. So we'll skip some numbers. Yeah, because we can use that later. But we'll focus more on the open questions. Okay, so about required course, the proposal features one required course with 12 topics that cover Dao teachings, basics of 4 upcoming electives, and broader cultivation insights. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay, so Eric, you're unsure about this one. Can you share your thoughts?
Yes. Let me read it again. I say unsure for some things because without having the material kind of being like everyone said, not set in stone, it's just kind of I don't want to give an answer where I don't have a strong opinion either way of it. I agree, and I think it's good with the 12 topics and the basics, and I like the electives, and I like all the broader insights. I guess I should have said that I agree with it instead of just saying unsure, but that's all. That I'm just not. I'm waiting to see what is in there, and I'm excited to see that. But I think that the overall structure is good, though, is I guess what I should have said.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
It's an ongoing process. The length of the required course, okay, 6 months is proposed. And let's see. So most people are like 3, 4, or 5. 3 means unsure. Okay, so Chandra, can you share more about this? The length? You there?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So I guess like you know my first thought when I was looking at the 6 months or a year, I think to me it's more about quality than quantity, to be honest, because we have a lot of classes already in the temple, and I think classes is just really one of the main events that we have, right? And we have so many different type of classes. So again, like just thinking out loud, right? And I understand why we want to have that 6 months as well. But just which is my first thought about how can we sustain this. And number 2 is like like how much classes that we want to have, whether 6 months or a year, and whether there's going to be more like like a yearly sort of like classes as well. Like now, like 6 months is the first year, and then next year we're going to do the same thing again. So that's just my thought there. Like I'm not sure about how much courses or classes that we should have, but again, I didn't think too much about that.
Okay, thank you. Felix?
Hello, Tianzi. Hello, everyone. Maybe my only thought, it may be to do with the duration. I think what Chandra says about the content, I guess it's about, because I think this is mainly for someone who have just received Tao. So I think perhaps what Lin Tianzi says is, to me, I think the key is about how do we convince someone who is new about the uniqueness of our Tao community. and how because normally I guess for the older generation we tend to use we can be escaping reincarnation, 超生了死, you know, we within this lifetime we can become a Buddha, for example. That's usually and that's especially when we describe the three treasure, you know, we always say that, you know, it's the door that we connect to the heaven, for example, so therefore you can escape the reincarnation. I think we should still mention that, but I guess maybe it's about also, I guess, for newer generation, because I think the newer generation maybe perhaps don't necessarily immediately see the value of escaping reincarnation, for example, right? Because that's actually what our teacher do say, that that's our uniqueness. That's why we have Tianming. But I guess it's about how do we, I guess within this whatever 3 months or 6 months during that fundamental course, we build that confidence. And in this case, we are indeed truly special. I feel maybe something like that. Personally, the way I see it also, like, and then we actually go to the modules, and even though we talk about the life skills, I think we also have that connection that we can, I guess for me, for example, I myself actually have been in management classes from my company. It's outside Temple. So they talk about empathy, they talk about taking care of other people. And that's actually good. And in Temple, we also talk about that. But I think somehow in Temple, we go one step deeper. There's actually a reason why we are able to do that. And we are actually able to mention that. For me personally, that's how it's like we are very, like there's something special about that. I think it's about, I guess, how do we actually say that specialty for the newer generation, how we do that in a different way. So I thought that's something I want to share.
Okay, thank you. Sandra.
Sorry, quick questions. Who is the target audience for this class?
Yes. Yes. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Dianci, can you share about this?
Do you want to go back to that slide?
Okay, so
yeah. Maybe you want to zoom out.
Zoom out, okay.
So that we can see, yeah. Okay, the monthly class is for, yeah, maybe zoom in a bit. Yeah, thank you. Okay, the monthly class is going to for everybody. It's a platform where we can all mingle together and learn together. So the monthly class is going to be for everyone, okay, including, everyone was service personnel, 讲师, 讲员. The fundamental class is more like, is closer to the Ming class that we have now. It's more for people who wants to contribute in some ways, all right, and want to learn more in some ways. So newer Tao kids can continue to just participate in the monthly class, and then but at a certain point in time, if they think that, okay, I want to learn more, maybe after they attended the 3-day assembly, so we will actually enroll them into the fundamental class program. Well, the major modules, it's not fixed in time and space, all right. Probably we can conduct 2 or 3 out of the 6, 7 modules yearly, or even concurrently, depending on needs, and the number of people who are interested in those major modules. As for the 6 months, the participants are not required. Just like currently in the monthly class, in Ming De Ban, you come back to the temple to attend classes every week. It's not. I'm thinking it's not. Probably it's not going to be like this. All right. Most of the topics will be done online, and online doesn't mean you're only going online to read. but there will be interactive sessions for you to engage with seniors from all over the world, all right, who can share insights on that topics. So it's more of a like online class, and then such interactions could be recorded so that you can always go back and revisit during your free time. So probably out of the 12 topics, I was thinking probably only 3 of them will require you to go back to your local temple, where we have more interactions, and then face-to-face interactions. All right, if you have anything to clarify pertaining to the topics covered. So it's not going to be that intensive 6 months course. All right. And there's no requirement also for participants to finish the entire course in 6 months. It's like we have not decided on that. Probably it's like as long as you complete the modules, all right, within a certain time span of about even 1 to 2 years, you are fine, because the objective is about building fundamentals. All right, it's not about completing a course and then so that you can go on to the next module. While attending the fundamental class, you can also join any of the major modules. All right, so it's more about a spiritual journey that you embark on. There's no need to finish a particular module in a particular time frame. This is what we are thinking, and please do share your thoughts on this. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dianshi. So in a word, it's not a magic number, and there are a lot of things to consider down the road when we are designing the plane. Okay. Thank you. Next, let's go back to okay, should there be only one required course? Okay, some agree, a lot of them, I think they're unsure. Okay, but this is design details. Let's skip. Reference. Okay. All right, okay. So when the new program begins, what roles would you be willing or interested to take part in? All right. So I think most people are very modest, but some to volunteer to be speakers, coordinators, and I appreciate that. Okay. And okay, so about question 23. Okay, how often should we hold a advisory team meeting? Okay. I think most people answer like once a month, and then some things that at least once a month and more frequently as needed when more than half of our members are able to attend. So I think we can take this into consideration, but basically once a month is what everyone can hope. Okay. And I think between the meetings, there are a lot of things we can do. We are not just, waiting there for a month and then come up with some decisions. I think this is not the way to how a project has to work, right? So in between the meetings, there are a lot of things, like including the surveys that we do, including like some one-on-one discussions, some small group discussions, and things like that. And I think that a lot of you are very experienced in project management, and I would reach out to you to check with you about this. Anyone would like to say a few things? Like, Monique, you are experienced with project management. What do you think we can do between the meetings?
Well, I guess there's a lot of details that we don't know, And right now, I just feel like we have the skeletons for this class, for
Right.
these groups, but what's inside there, we don't know. So it's very hard to say. And then, you know we have a goal, we know what we try to achieve, but what are we really trying to sell to everyone, or for those do not have the Asian's background, is what I mean. So so it's very hard to say. I mean, if you want to do the project very well, you need to have the good contents, then you can really think more strategy can come out.
Okay.
That's what I see.
All right. Thank you. We'll
Thank
discuss more later. All right.
Okay.
How about Chandra? I think you involved with a lot of projects. What do you think is good for us to do in the perspective of project management?
I do not have any too many opinion here, to be honest. But so what outcomes do we want from these classes? Like this, the project management. Is this like some variety of topics that we want to share to folks to understand? So I guess like I'm trying to understand again, like which is like my original question: who is the target audience, and what is the outcome that do we want here? So I think depending on those things, like I think the what and why, then we can talk about how.
Okay, thanks. So we have to go back to the basics, set the goal, and decide the target audience, something like that. Okay. All right. So the length of the meetings, 1.52. Okay. So I think 1.5 is still preferred by most people. Okay. Number 26, background sharing. All right. Okay. Okay, so we have Michael James here. Can you mentioned that over the years you have tried various approaches for delivering topics in the temple, and also outside of the temple you have done things. So can you share about this?
Yep, sure. Hello, everyone. So when I was writing those notes, I think, yeah, I've tried little focus group classes, mainly in-person things, and sort of successful. This year I ran 2 sessions. I ran one that was for 5 months, 1 meeting a month, and that was quite good, but I think a month the gap was too long in between each class. We got to the end and I said, so what did we talk about on day 1? And no one could really remember. So then the second round I had 5 classes, but every 2 weeks. And that felt more connected for the people. And we did a combination of in-person and online and recorded at the same time. It was a little bit technically challenging and we didn't get it quite right for everyone. But I think it was the people that turned up in person, they got the best deal. The people that listened online, we tried really hard to make sure that they were incorporated in it. And so they sort of got the second best deal out of it. And the people that just watched the recording, you know, sometimes it wasn't quite so good. We incorporated quite a bit of discussion. It wasn't just a lecture. It was maybe 15 minutes talking, then 5 minutes discussion, then more talking and discussion. So that seemed to work really well, that intermixing the lecturing with talking, and when you have a good facilitator, getting everyone a chance to say something or share their viewpoint. That worked. I think that was one of the things that worked well, was helping people share their ideas and making them feel comfortable talking in a group. Then you learned a lot about them, and everyone learned from each other, so they felt they'd learned more. In terms of topic content, I think the core ideas are the same, but sometimes it's just the packaging of how you package it up. So the one I was running this year was titled Leadership, but we talked about Confucius's 5 constant virtues, and then we moved on to the Tao Te Ching. But just it seemed like having leadership at the title, people thought that's really important for them, so they came along and listened quite intently. Whereas if I had said, I'm running some classes on the Tao Te Ching, I would have had a much lower uptake. It was just presenting the what's in it for the classmates, attendees. I think how it was packaged up, we just struck a lucky topic that people are interested in, but within that topic, we sort of had the freedom to deliver the content that I think we needed to deliver for those people. Yeah, that's sort of some things that I've tried. And yeah, being flexible. If it doesn't work, try something else. And what works for one group of attendees doesn't necessarily work for another group of attendees. So just being quite mindful of the people that are signing up or you're attracting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mia.
Hello. Sorry, I just kind of get lost. So I'm hearing everyone's talking. So I just want to make sure something. If I remember that Dian Chuan have shared about why he built this proposal program is about in maybe old time we're focused more on to how I say that, introduce the talking more, go to the really fast and go to the class, but the basic on this program, as I understanding, is we try to keep a link, keep attached with the very new talking. So that is why we want to build variety course. This is my understanding. And everyone talk about the spiritual ways. And like Jasmine said, I can understand as Eric said before, but if in my mind will be, because the target is very new talking for their monthly. So with variety class and the Tao material will be inside. But for me, the challenging will be the guide, the lecturer, as we want to call him. The one should have more deep understanding about the topic. Even we talk about the cooking. In the cooking, we can still talk about the Tao. So I just get a little bit lost is because I feel we are waiting for something. But before we open this team work, as I understanding will be, it's we're going to do something and we are not going to wait something. It's we are going to, I don't know, we're going to discuss and we're going to create something, which means we are the part of the future, but we are not waiting someone to give you a really precise direction. There is no precise direction. No. So I just a little bit get lost today. So I think maybe if like 在讲师 maybe last time we have some summary about the purpose for this team, right? Because last time I believe Dian Tuan have shared about 1 hour to talking about why we want to create this group and why he set this program. And we have some expectation. This group is not for us. Us, which means we are like, I'm born a Dawkins baby, so I'm born in Temple like 35 years. And not for us. It's for the future, the new doc, as I understanding. So I just want to make sure if I misunderstanding or just we need some summarize for helping everyone to not, not just we traveling, because I was lost in the trap. Yeah. I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Mia. Okay, I think we can talk later. I see your questions. Yes. Okay, thank you. It's 10:53, and let's see. Okay. Other questions? Michael James have suggested that we can use statistics, and I'll check with you more about this. Next one is how to optimally decide meeting times. Is there any better way to decide the times? It seems that there's a lot of schedule conflicts and for so many people, and so far we have like just asked Lin Dianshi to come up with his times, and everyone can vote on that. If there's any better way to decide meeting times, please let me know. Okay. Use of a survey as a way to remedy the insufficient discussion time we already did. I hope you like it. And sometimes you cannot attend all the meetings, but you can always voice your opinions, suggestions in the survey. Okay. And next, okay, looking forward, it looks like so far that a lot of you are not sure what we are doing right now. Okay, it's in a word, we are trying to be the change you want to see in the DAO community. All right, and so it's up to us to create the future, so to speak. Okay, so we are trying to do it step by step. So this is the second meeting so far. But don't worry, we will come up with a roadmap with some of your input, and I would reach out to some of you to work on this. Okay. So in the next meeting, we'll be deciding the roadmap for the project. Say, okay, if we need the pilot program, when will we start the pilot program and how long would it last? And when would we roll out the final product to our target audience? Okay. And so we need to design the work plan. So we are all owners of the project, right? So that's why it's very important for everyone to speak up, either in the survey or in the meeting. Okay, so it's all recorded. We can analyze that, and we can make the best use of everyone's input. All right. So we would use our consensus as our guide on developing the plan. Okay. So for the meeting facilitation, I really need you guys' help because you are very experienced with all kinds of meetings, right? I'm trying to learn to be a coordinator myself, but it's quite challenging for me, right? As you can see, today I'm the tech host and the coordinator, and then there are a lot of things to prepare. So I hope that you can volunteer yourself to join us in the coordination team. Okay. And if you know some good AI tools to use, also please let me know. Okay. Okay, Dianshi.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost time. So before we end the meeting, can you say a few words to us?
Yeah, maybe I'll try to answer to Sister Mia's question earlier on, or her concern earlier on. I do agree with her. I think we have to move things, and okay, what is important at the end of this second meeting is we understand the overall goals, all right, of why we are coming out with these structured programs. Okay, there are a few things that I'd like to suggest, all right. Probably going ahead, if you would like to go back to the chart, we were talking about the fundamental topics. I'm not sure whether can we divide ourselves into groups. Probably the US one group, and then the Australia and New Zealand one group, and then Taiwan, Singapore one group. We can probably do it that way. And divide ourselves into groups, and then ask ourselves, and then discuss within the group, all right, what are the things that we will want to share, all right, which we feel that is very important on this part of cultivation. What are the things that we want to share? And that means the broad subjects that we want to share pertaining to the fundamental class, all right. I do not see that we will be using the same 12 topics all over the world. No, I think it's more like we will define what are the broad scope that we want to cover, and then we'll leave it to probably the US to decide, okay, within this scope, what are the topics that you want to cover. It's just like earlier on when we talk about the monthly English class, we only cover the themes, all right? But we leave the individual to decide. We leave the entity to decide what topics to cover within the team. That will give us a lot more flexibility. At the same time, probably seniors in the US knows better, all right, what the people needs, what the people wants. So if we can divide ourselves probably into 3 big groups, and then we start discussing, all right, what are the topics that we think they are important for new Tao kids who want to get serious about spiritual learning, all right, in a broader aspect, and then do a presentation in the next meeting, all right, and then share with the rest of us why you feel that way, why these topics are important, and probably that as a start. And then from there, I think we can build on the good points of all the good points coming from all the different groups. All right. And what Mia rightly say is, okay, myself or even Cai Jianshi, we are not going to come up with a syllabus and then say, okay, everyone just follow. No, I think it's something that we have to work together. Okay, since we are already in the community for many years, we know exactly what the Tao Kin needs and the mismatches that we have today, and then how we can do better. And earlier on, many of them have shared in your survey, what the Tao Kin needs is very different, all right, from what we can provide today. So now it's important to translate that, all right, into something tangible, to say that, okay, if I'm going to design a class, a fundamental class for this Tao Kin, all right, to let them have a better understanding so that they can embark on this spiritual journey, what am I going to tell them? How am I going to make that relevant to them, to their daily lives, all right? And then what are the books that I would like to recommend them to read, all right, besides translating from the Chinese text? What are the English books that I would like to recommend them to read to build out their fundamentals? And then what are the platforms that I can create, all right, to make sure that, you know, there are someone who can go to, they have someone to go to when they encounter issues, problems in their path of cultivations. So it's not only about the topics, it's the way you want to groom a new Tao kin so that he or she can enjoy the spiritual joy that you are experiencing now. So I suggest we divide ourselves into groups, work on something, all right? Translate that into something tangible, and then probably next meeting, we have 3 groups to share. So I'm not sure you agree with this. Maybe as a show of hand, if you agree, so that we can know how to proceed from here. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dianshi. Okay, Dianshi is okay. Should we end the meeting here?
Do you want to first take a poll about is it all right for us to probably divide ourselves into 3 groups so that we can start to work on something?
Okay, so can we do that in the line group later?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So I think that because a lot of people haven't got a chance to attend the meeting today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we can explain more.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dianshi. Okay. So thank you all for your participation today. The meeting will end here. Please stand up. And let's make 3 bells, gentlemen. 1 bell, 2 bells, 3 bells, and 1 bell for the Dianchuanshi. Ladies, 1 bell, 2 bells, 3 bells, and 1 bell for the Dianshi. Okay, please turn on your camera and say goodbye to everyone.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dianchuanshi.
Okay.
Thank
you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
night. Good morning.
Thank you, 点
Okay.
传师，
Okay.
太小
Bye bye.
资，拜拜。
Bye bye.